we're going to be discussing the actual, we've had until now a few classes about preempting the 13 principles of faith. Now we're going to discuss the actual 13 principles. I think you've waited long enough, and we're going to get to them right now after those messages. The first of the 13 principles of faith, if I was fancy, I would be able to have like a little 3D props and images over here coming up in different colors, but we're not that fancy, so you're going to have to take my word for it. But it is written in the back of all the Siddurs, all the Siddurim, the prayer books, after Tefillah Shachris, after the morning prayers, in most of the prayer books. And they are printed 13 principles of faith. They are called the Ani Mamins. Ani Mamins, which actually means I believe. Ani Mamin. So we are going to go, there are 13 of them, and we're going to go through them one by one. A little bit of discussion, a little bit of analyzing, some insights, some of the depth that is obviously only scratching the surface, but trying to get a little bit more of what it really entails. And that is the summary of what we're going to do. So the first one is Ani Mamin, I believe, be'emuna shalema, with complete faith. Shehabayre yisparach shemai, that the Creator, blessed is He, who bayre, He creates, umanhig, and He guides, and He conducts everything, l'chol habruim, to all the creations, v'hu levadai, and He alone, asa, He did, meaning He accomplished, He made, v'oise, and He continues to make, v'yasa, and He will be the only one who makes and creates, l'chol hamasim, to everything, to every creation, to every entity that there is, was, and will ever be in the world. So we're going to focus a little bit on the language, on the terminology that's used in this Ani Mamin. Shehabayre, that the Creator, hu bayre umanik, He is the Creator, and He is the guide, or He conducts it, He runs the show. So there seems to be two different aspects, two different factions that we're focusing on. Number one, that He created it, and number two is that He does the day-to-day running of the show. But we need to stop for a second and focus on the word bayre, creator, because in Hebrew language, the word bara means created in past tense. For example, the first two words in the Torah are Bereshis, bara. In the beginning, He created, past tense. So technically, we should say that the Creator, meaning Hashem, bara, He is the one who created in the past. But we don't use that word. We use the word borei. He creates. He continues to create. Why do we use that word as the term that seems to imply that the creation is not yet finished, but He continues to create? The second question is, what does it mean there is a borei, the one who creates, and the manhig, the one who runs the show? Why do we need to stress that that God accomplishes both of these feats? So in order to understand this, first of all, we need to understand something very important. There is a belief, there are religions that believe, for example, it was at one time it was Greek philosophy, that God indeed did create the world way back when, but He got involved in other things. He was very busy. I'm sorry, He turned to mankind, He turned to all the planets, He turned to the world, and He said, guys, you're on your own. I got much more important things. I just got a new Nintendo game. I got something to do. I got to do exercise. I got things to work on. So He let the world on its own. You guys take care of yourself. I'm bouncing. I'm out. The Jewish belief is not like that. The Jewish belief is actually to the contrary. Not only did God create the world, but He continues to focus on the world. He continues to be involved in the world. He is the manhig. He conducts, He runs every single little thing that goes on in all the creations, in all the galaxies, and he focuses on mankind with his full attention. There's no ADD when it comes to God, or ADHD, which stands for attention deficit. Hey, donuts. ADHD does not exist. Hashem is completely focused on what happens in the world. Not only that, but he created the world with a system, a marechet, a system that is a two-way street when it comes to mankind, which means that he says mankind can, in a certain sense, press buttons that will activate certain things in the world. It is not just, he said, I developed a system called nature, and whatever happens with that system, that's how it goes. Water will go down, anything that goes up will come down, things will happen, there will be actions and reactions. That's the system of nature. But there's one exception to the rule. There's something else called mankind. Mankind, especially the Jewish people who follow the Torah, they were given the code book, they were given the keyboard called the Torah, which in a sense they can press the buttons and activate whatever it is that they want and whatever it is that God in essence really wants. Meaning that he created the world, that it's no longer just him focusing on what happens in the world, but it is a partnership between Hashem, between God and mankind. He set up a system, but he also created a special system which would have the Jewish people following the Torah with the ability and the power to change the rules or to change entire world according to what they do and according to what they accomplish. So when we say the words Borei Umanhig, that he created and he also guides and he conducts, what that means is that it's not something that he did way back when and he bounced, he left, and he said, I got more things important to do. I'm sorry, gentlemen, you'll have to take care of the party yourselves. No, God is completely involved in what's happening in this world. He is completely focused on what's happening in this world, and he wants to know about you and me, what we do. Even though, in a certain sense, it would seem petty, it would seem kind of like not so important or significant that God, the creator of the entire world, of all the galaxies, of the angels, of prophets, of so much, would show any concern to what me and you do as humans. We're just lowly little creations in this huge, vast world. Hashem says, no, I'm the Borei, I'm the creator, but I'm also the Manhig. I do want to know, I do care. Everything you do, Hashgacha Pratis, which means Hashem follows and he is on top of. Specifically, he designates his focus completely on what me and you do. There was a famous story with a seminary girl here in Israel, that on the buses in Israel, sometimes the bus driver stops at a designated stop, and sometimes he doesn't. It depends on his mood. Depends on, how many sunflower seeds he had that day. So she realized that when people wanted the bus driver to stop, they would call out nahag. Nahag literally means bus driver, like the word that we're saying now, manhig, the same word, manhig and nahag. So she assumed that the way to say stop was by saying nahag. That's how you say stop. Well, she called out nahag when she wanted to stop, and he didn't stop. So she approached him very angry, and she said, Lama talo nahag? Why didn't you stop? But what she really said, she didn't realize, was, she said, why aren't you a driver? He said, Ma, ani ken nahag. She said, La talo nahag. Amarti nahag vatalo nahag. He said, I don't care what you said, I am a nahag. She said, you're not. No, you didn't nahag, because I said nahag. Anyway, the word manhig means, nahag means he's the driver. Everything that happens in the world is in God's hand. There's a difference between those who drive stick shift and those who drive automatic. The people who drive automatic are relaxed. They only have to press one or two buttons. They go in the car, you can put it on cruise control and enjoy your ride. And people that are driving stick shift are always moving constantly. They got to press with one foot and move this with another foot. I never understood it. I drive automatic, I don't drive stick shift. But if you ask any of them, why do they choose to drive stick shift? There were great people, big rabbis, that watched people driving stick shift, and they assumed that what they were doing was mixing the gas or mixing the oil, try to mix it around. But that's not what's happening. If you ask somebody, why do you drive stick shift and not automatic? They'll tell you, because you have much more control over the car. Well, in a certain sense, lahavdil, Hashem drives this world stick shift. What that means is, he didn't just say, I'm going to set up a system and put the world on cruise control. Everybody go, everybody flow, you guys are on your own. No, it's complete control. That means every move, every new thing, every new action and reaction, every new beginning and end is all under the control of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So when we say Shehu Boirei, that he is the creator, Umanhig, he's actually driving the world that we live in. Meaning that every single step, every single creation, every single entity that there is, and all the powers and forces and whatever's going on with them in their lives or in their existence in this world is all a result of Hashem when he's got the controls. It's not something that he created and put on cruise control. It's not something that he said, okay, you're on your own, do as you please. No, Hashem is literally guiding every step. Hashem is there for everything and wants to know, follows, directs, and indeed, he accomplishes everything in his own way, the way he wants to, at every step of the way. That's called Borei. He creates, Umanhig, and he guides.